prefer Showdown. The Puzzle Showdown!
When it was announced the next entry in the Class of 09 series would be a puzzle game of all things, I'm sure we all reacted like this. We've known for a while that Flipside was the last visual novel in the series, which certainly is a game to end the trilogy on. I was kind of skeptical when I saw the trailer for this game, but I was willing to give it a chance. I may not like Flipside much at all, but I really like the first two games. And with the anime pilot being pretty good and the shorts that came after it being pretty okay, I'd say the series won some of us back. Plus I thought the game wouldn't cost much anyway, and even if it was bad, it probably wouldn't have even mattered. Now that I've played through the main campaign, I can finally answer the question. Was this game worth £17.75? No. But I wouldn't call the game bad per se. Let's take some time to discuss my very complicated thoughts on Class of 09 Puzzle Showdown. Also, there will be spoilers in this video, but let's be honest, if you cared about that, you wouldn't have clicked on this video in the first place. First things first, we should probably address the expensive elephant in the room. $20 or 17 Great British pounds and 75 pence. What's going on, man? Even the $12.79 for Flipside was pushing it. Funnily enough, Flipside is now £8.50, which is a good price. But this also makes the price of Puzzle Showdown even more baffling. Now, I do respect the fact that this game is fully voiced and has anime cutscenes, but I still don't think that justifies anything. This game has around 1 hour and 20 minutes of dialogue and 6 minutes of anime cutscenes. That's like 1/3 of the re-up while still costing more than it. Now obviously just considering the dialogue would be disingenuous considering this isn't a visual novel. But I would also like to argue that the dialogue is the reason the majority of the fanbase would want to play this bloody game in the first place. But still, let's be fair and discuss the gameplay since it's the main piece of this puzzle. You see what I did there? This game has 4 modes for you to play around with. The marathon mode is just Kelly's mode but endless, so yeah, I didn't play that much. And the multiplayer mode I only played once using Parsec because there was no way in hell I was going to convince my friend to drop nearly £18 in this game. I couldn't tell you why there's no option to play against random people, but as it stands you better have friends who are willing to buy this game or use Parsec. Now let's get on to the more meatier parts of this game. The main campaign consists of 5 stories, all being around 11 stages each and increasing in difficulty as you go. Basically, this new guy called the Puzzler hacks everyone's phones and makes them compete against each other in puzzles until there's one person left standing, and then they just get their phones back. I don't know. Now, I'll be entirely honest with you guys. I have never touched a puzzle game in my life. I've never even smelled a game like this, let alone do I know how to play them. So I really couldn't tell you how good this gameplay is compared to other puzzle games. But I quite enjoyed it a majority of the time. The dopamine rush when I got a 4 or 5 match and demolished the AI was pretty satisfying. At first, I didn't know getting freeze didn't do anything, which led to me having quite possibly the longest match ever televised against Emily. But after that, I got it and started having a good time. Well, until the game got really hard. Okay, I know this part is going to seem like a skill issue, but I swear some parts of this game are unbelievably difficult. Towards the end of Emily's story, and the entire last story in particular took me so long. There were points where I would either get smoked in seconds or I would smoke the AI in seconds. I was playing this game with my friend, and the last fight against the puzzler took us literal hours to do, as this bastard chained together like 5 combos in seconds and instantly got himself out of everything we threw to his side. Eventually I beat him, but I can't even say it was because of skill, it was pure luck.
Only the best.
Oh my god! Seriously, look at how fast this guy is moving. The difficulty becomes even more apparent in a certain other mode, but we'll get more into that a bit later. Now, to be fair, this is my first puzzle game, and despite how fast I thought it was moving, I could also just be bad at the game, this is true. But I've seen others complain about this too, so it's definitely not just me. Overall, I did enjoy the gameplay 90% of the time. It's just that last 10% was really hard and not in a fun way, but your mileage may vary. But what about the story? Considering it's probably what most people thought over their 1775 for, it must be good, right? Yes, actually. It's not re-up quality, but I did chuckle a fair few times playing through this. Basically, before every level, you get a small conversation between whoever you're playing as and whoever you're playing against. It would have been nice to have some dialogue after you win as well, because you kind of just win and then teleport to a new location, suddenly talking to someone else, but it's really not a big deal. The characters themselves pretty much act as you would expect, but sometimes they feel a little bit off. Like this scene with Nicole and Ari was a bit strange to me. I know in the route where they date, Ari Ari takes a lot from Nicole, and it made sense there. But in every other route, she pushes back. So it's kind of weird when you watch this scene and she just lets Nicole insult her. Aside from some moments like that, I was having a good time. Out of the 5, I probably enjoyed Emily's the most. Everyone else kind of has a deeper reason to play. Like Jekka wants to prove she's smart and Ari wants escapism. But Emily's just stealing shit and wants the free iPhone. You see her in the other routes on the run from the police, and the whole time you're just wondering what the hell her route could be. And it lives up to how crazy you would expect. So it sounds like I like the story a whole lot, right? And yeah, I was enjoying it, but that was right up until the very last scene. After struggling through the final puzzler fight, you're rewarded with a cutscene where he essentially tells you that you're wasting your life playing this game and need to log off. Yes, I'm dead ass. He literally breaks the 4th wall to tell you to touch grass and closes your game out. I kind of like stuff like this in games. It can be really funny depending on how you do it. But here I just felt nothing. I didn't find this profound. I didn't get angry. I didn't feel like going outside more. I just felt nothing. You charged $17.75 for this puzzle game and then told me off for wasting my time with it. To be fair though, this ending might resonate with people that do spend all their time playing video games. But I feel like this campaign isn't nearly long enough to have this kind of ending. The puzzler having knowledge of other routes is kind of interesting. But if he doesn't come back in another game or something, then this ending is going to feel even more nothing burger to me than it already does. Despite my sour thoughts on the ending, I couldn't tell you the whole story is bad. I actually think it was pretty enjoyable. I probably laughed more than with Flipside. I don't know how much of an accomplishment that is, but it's something. The final and longest mode in this game is Weekend at Kelly's. This mode involves you hanging out with Kelly and making choices as you match blocks to get them underneath the clear line. Weekend at Kelly's is a nice change of pace from the main story and has a better dialogue to gameplay ratio in my opinion. But I only fully played through one route. I am willing to admit that this is fully a skill issue on my part. I found this mode super hard. I basically got carried by my friend the whole way through. At like speed 43, you basically get 2 seconds to make matches and my brain would actually not cooperate with this mode. Which is a shame because I actually liked the bits I could handle. The CGs look really good and Kelly's dialogue is honestly fairly entertaining. I don't know why Kelly of all girls was chosen to get her own mode, but I'm not complaining. There seems to be quite a few routes in this mode, so maybe I'll return to it at some point in the future. But as of right now, I just find it way too difficult. But that's not a criticism at all. I'm just bad at the game. That's all the modes in Puzzle Showdown. So now comes the most important question. Is this a good game? Depends. When I look back at my time of Class of 09 Puzzle Showdown, I realized that I actually had fun with it. The gameplay is pretty enjoyable, if not a little repetitive and crazy hard at some points. The story's pretty enjoyable, aside from the ending. All the voice actors are giving 120% like they always do. And I really like the art. But despite enjoying a good 90% of this game, I just cannot recommend it. At least not right now. The biggest problem with this game is the price. It's just not justifiable. SBM3 could have easily priced this game the same as the re-up or even Flipside's current price, and I can't see a reason why it costs more other than
cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-chingery. Money, oh money, how I love thee.
I think the negative reception this game has gotten is a little unfair. Like, there were negative reviews a crisp 30 minutes after it dropped, bro. But I can also kind of understand it. I think this game is decent, but after the blunder that was Flipside, I feel like this wasn't the way to go. An overpriced puzzle game after ending the visual novel trilogy like that was never going to be well received. It didn't matter how good the anime pilot was. This game was already set up to be hated, and the price definitely didn't help that fact. I genuinely have no clue where this franchise goes from here. Whether that's more anime stuff or a whole nother game in a whole nother genre. I don't even mind if there won't be any more visual novels. I totally understand the financial and creative downsides to making more. But regardless of what's next, I'm gonna stick around. But if you want this game, just wait for a sale. Or maybe it will get a permanent drop like Flipside. I would hope, please.